Two black students had the police called on them today at Georgia State's perimeter campus in Newton County for being 2 minutes late to class.
Yeah, you heard that right, and I
don't want you to talk, you weirdo.
Two black students had the police called on them today at Georgia State's perimeter campus in Newton County for being 2 minutes late to class. You heard me correctly. 2 minutes late to class, and they had the police called on them. When the professor then asked them to leave, Taylor responded and said, "We paid to be here." The professor, Carissa Gray, then responded, "Okay," and left the room. When she returned with two armed police officers. The woman cop, whose name I do not know, proceeded to grab Taylor's things and try to forcibly remove them from the room. They then said that if they did not leave, they would be charged with trespassing. When the students arrived to the classroom, the door was wide open. They were allowed to enter, walk all the way to their seats, sit down, and proceed to take out their things to take notes. The woman...
They said black. I mean, I don't know if the race is necessarily a factor. Oh, the professor was... Wait, hold on. This is a...
Two black students...
Okay, so like, here's the thing. The narrative is that they were discriminated against because they're black. I want you to say the professor was black. Okay, so the racial narrative is completely destroyed right off the bat. I would imagine, unless we're going to go with like a conversation about colorism, maybe you could. But I mean, this sounds like a shitty scenario. I'm not downplaying that. I just want to say the professor was black. It is textually necessary to bring this up, considering we're doing a little id poll. We're doing a little identity politics. So just so you know,
had the police called on them today at Georgia all the way to their seats, sit down, and proceed to take out their things to take notes. The woman police officer proceeded to hold on to Taylor's things until Taylor agreed to leave. She then went down to the advisement center to figure out who it was that she could talk to file a report. She was directed to go to the department head of Professor Mason, who then told Taylor that her only two options were to either stay in an environment that she didn't feel safe in or take an F. When we went across the street to the other building to file a complaint with the student life department, we were then informed that this was not the first time that the police had been called on.
Okay, so really quick, thank you so much for the sub, brother. So it says they stepped away from the classroom before returning with two armed campus police officers. So the reason that this is also relevant is because the way that they're framing this is that they called the police, like they went to the next level. But a lot of there are big campuses that have their own police, which, by the way, is a problem in and of itself, because a lot of times if like a sexual assault happens inside of a campus, you go to the actual police, so that's what I call them, and they're like, we're going to refer it to them, and then they'll suppress the fuck out of it. It's a huge issue with like sexual assault culture, and it's something for people to be aware of. However, in context, the campus police here, that is the security of the campus. They have their own police force. So it's not like they went out above and beyond and went out of their way to find like, oh, we got to get the police to do it. They found their campus, that this is their campus security. If you went to a smaller school, they would have just called the regular security to escort you out.
On a student for something irrational.
Yeah, and so it's like right here, time and time again, we've seen the police being weaponized against black people. Blake says it's calling Gray's decision to involve the police extremely unreasonable, dangerous. Yeah, clearly there's a lack of understanding about. Okay, I'm going to keep listening, and then I'm going to give my opinion on it.
Taylor also disclosed that she felt as though this action taken by Professor Carissa Gray was in retaliation to an earlier event that happened earlier on in the semester.
What's that?
Time and time again, we've seen the...
Listen, I don't know the specifics. We have one side of the story. We don't even have the full side of that story. Here's what I know. Teachers can be assholes and shitty. Some of them are like, if you come in late, you're done. But if you said that there's an altercation that she had with the students earlier, the other side of the story sounds like maybe these two students are constantly coming in late and being disrespectful and being noisy. I don't really know. Doing something wrong. And the teacher's like, you need to stop doing that. And the problem is that we've already decided there's a racial narrative here, even though the professor is black. So it's almost impossible for there to be a fucking racial narrative. The framing that the police were involved, trying to suggest it was above and beyond the normal operate or scope of what should be happening, is irrelevant. It's not a good point either, because campus police are the security for this institution. This TikTok is incredibly misinformed. I understand why it's misinformed, but it's incredibly misinformed.
police being weaponized against black people. Calling the police on 2 students for being 2 minutes late to class is extremely unreasonable and dangerous. Both of the students
disagree. Kind of. I kind of disagree, specifically based on what's the situation that happened beforehand. Like, what was the altercation that they were in? It's very relevant. They might have come in late and said "fuck you" to the teacher or something. You know, that's the thing. If I had a classroom and like I had people that were late all the time and they were being disruptively late, especially, I'd be like, listen, you need to not come in late and be disruptive, okay? And if you do it again, I'm going to kick you out of the class. They came in 2 minutes late. I would do the same thing. It's about setting a standard. I mean, it's about its own principle. Again, we don't know. For all we know, the altercation was the teacher farted and then they left. I don't know. It could be stupid. But based on the information that we have, and they're like completely identity loading this, it's just a very dishonest thing.
A woman and a man started crying because they were so terrified of what could happen to them. Please share this video. I'm trying to spread this story so that people can know what's going on. Stuff like this cannot keep happening to black youth in America. Stop weaponizing the police against black people.
Very dishonest framing, but okay. I would love to see what T. Blizzy has to say. Tizian, because like in my experience, Tizian is like a virtue signaling white person. I'm just letting you know, like he doesn't look into issues in depth. I've done enough on here so people know that like when I feel like there is a black issue going on, like I talk about it in a way that's like that I'm doing my best. And there are times where like I think that there's absolute like solid reason, and times where I don't think that there's an issue when it comes to them being black, you know. And I know people know I'm consistent. We've already identified that by looking at the article from an objective standard that like this can't be a black issue because the teacher is black. Okay, so like, what do you have to say about this?
Today at Georgia State's Perimeter campus in Newton County for being 2 minutes late to class.
Yeah, you heard that right, and I have questions for Georgia State. So,
do you think they're going to watch your TikTok? Is that why you're asking that?
2 students, a black man and a black woman, are 2 minutes late to class. The doorroom to the classroom is still open, so they enter, they sit down.
You're just saying what she said. Okay.
They're taking out their stuff. Professor, named Carissa Gray, says no.
Oh, wait. Why isn't the professor identified? Racially. 2 black students walked in, and the professor. It's very important. If the professor was white, it would have been the number one thing said. Since the professor is black, it is intentionally this information is intentionally being withheld. This is what I'm talking about. You can't push a racial narrative here. He's mansplaining her. That's true. You can't push a racial narrative here. And they know they can't. At least he does. He knows he can't. And she does too. Because they intentionally left out the race. They've decided it's an issue because they're black. And they've left out the race. They could have said, well, maybe this is an issue of colorism. Fine. But you didn't even present that. You're trying to turn it into a black issue. And you're intentionally withholding information. Disingenuous content creators. This is what I'm talking about. Fucking virtue signaling. This is why this is why people tune out of black issues. Because like there are times that need to be like stood, the ground needs to be stood of like, hey, this is a black problem. This is a problem with like black issues. And even if people don't believe you, you have to double down on it. I understand that. But this here is in a situation where they actively know that they did that this is a weaponization of a narrative. Oh, the 2 students were black. The teacher, no, she's also black. They called the police. Well, actually, that's their campus security that also doubles as a police force. They was only 2 minutes late, but there was a previous altercation that the teacher had with the students. It's just incredible.
No, I want you to leave, assuming because they were late. They say no, there's some back and forth, and then the young lady says, look, I paid to be here. I'm going to take the class.
Oh, were you there?
The professor says, okay, and leaves the classroom. Then returns a few minutes later with 2 police officers.
Whoa.
Telling the police officers to remove...
The police officers. You know what's incredible here? Even if you didn't know that they were campus police officers, what you do know is that it only took 2 minutes to get the police there. The police take longer than 2 minutes, literally. So context clues screams at you that the police were there because it's campus fucking security police.
Move the students. One of the officers starts grabbing their belongings.
What is the point of his video? He's just restating what she said.
Telling them they're going to be...
Hey guys, I'm going to say the exact same thing as this other girl, but I'm white. Just re-upload her video at that point.
Charge of trespassing. The 2 students are terrified and break down over this. The one officer is holding their belongings, refusing...
Incredible. Maybe they did, but they should have just left then, I guess.
To let them have them until they agree to leave. So they do. They agreed to leave, but the young lady went to the advisement board to see about maybe filing a report or a complaint. She was told to speak to the department head. Department head told her, you have two choices. You can stay in an environment you claim makes you feel unsafe and uncomfortable, or you can take an F. She then left and went to file a complaint with the Student Life Center and was told, oh yeah, this is not the first time that police have been called for irrational reasons.
Wow. Could you imagine saying, yeah, this isn't the first time that that our security guards have had to deal with irrational teachers? That might be true. The teacher might be completely irrational for all we know, but it's not a fucking race issue, and that's not a hot take. You're trying to make this seem like they constantly call the police. That's fucking security for the place. So hyperbolic. These people are fucking gross. Oh my God. Every single time you lie about a fucking situation and try to add race into it, people tune out of the racial conversation. It's fucking pathetic.
On students here at Georgia State. So to Georgia State, I have to ask, why are police being weaponized against black students over something as simple as just being late to class? Why do professors like Carissa Gray think
Black Carissa Gray, by the way,
that this is okay? Especially when the female student says she feels like this could have stemmed from a disagreement they had had previously.
Yes. Black
students should be able to pursue a higher education at a school like Georgia State.
We really need black teachers to stop being racist against black students, if I'm being honest with you. It's a big problem.
Without having the fear that one of those educators...
Guys, we need to... Bro, this is so fucking stupid. What a fucking virtue signal. Holy shit. You're so... you just resaid that. This is what they said, and now you're just fucking... Dude, now you're just like fucking pushing off like a fucking moral... You're just playing moral arbiter. Oh, it's better if a white guy says it. Bro, shut the fuck up. Oh my God. I hate these virtue signaling fucking... Bro, oh my God. I just don't... Jesus Christ.
One of the people they paid to learn from will call and weaponize the police against them.
Incredible. You mean the security, yeah. Incredible. Well, the best part is that she's very, the only good part is that, though, she's a nice looking young woman. That's actually, you know what? That's a bit sexist for me. So there's no reason to comment on her looks. I could have kept that to myself, but hey, listen, just trying to be better every day. But also, both of you are absolutely most likely actively pushing misinformation, or actually disinformation, because it's intentional. You knew that the teacher was black. That's why you said that the students were black, but the teacher was like, he didn't say anything. So, whoa, that's hitting the whoa on you motherfuckers. Good job to the two of you for making people tune out of black issues. Seems counterproductive, frankly. That's how I would feel. Frankly, I wouldn't want people to be less invested in black issues by lying about them and lying about racial narratives, because it really does happen. Black people really do get hit with some fucking bullshit. But this isn't an instance of that. And now people are going to find the truth out and go like, virtue signaler. And they'll be like, I guess, because if every single time somebody sees something that's being presented as a black issue, every time they lie about it, it makes people go, do black people really have struggles? That's what makes people feel like. Just letting you know that. Thank you so much for watching, guys, and another special shout out to all my Patreon and Twitch subs. If you'd like to support this channel further than you already have by just watching the video alone, go down to the links below where you can sub on my Patreon, which will allow you to get your name on this beautiful black wall. Or you can go to the Twitch page and you can actually use a free Amazon Prime sub, if you have Amazon Prime, to subscribe. Thank you very much, guys. Take care.